Hello everybody, welcome to Mackenzie Vlogs. In today's video, I'm going to give you a little tour of my bookshelf. As you can see here, this is the top shelf, which is above all the other shelves. Duh. Anyway, we have a lot of turtle figures here. This little box here is basically necklace stuff that I hardly ever use, but I have made necklaces, so that's what that is. This right here is called the Manga Bible. I haven't read this one. I have read like some Manga Bible type stuff, but like I guess this is supposed to be the whole, from Genesis to Revelation, but it's not like word for word, obviously. I have this book called Outline Studies in Christian Doctrine. This right here is the Pocket Book of Prayers. It's basically just different prayers and some hymns. Right here, all the way down here, this little white book that you can hardly see, that is a 31 prayers for my future husband guide thing. I have gone through that before. It seemed pretty good, but I don't really remember it. Something that my mom gave to me, because she really wants me to just grow up and get married and get out of the house. I'm saying that because she's over there and smiling and laughing. This little book is God's Promises and Answers, and it basically just has Bible verses for different things. This is Unger's Bible Handbook right here. This is Cruden's Compact Concordance. This is the New Compact Topical Bible. This right here is The Power of Praying by Stormy O. Martin. And my mom got me this, and I have gone through it, and I'll definitely be bringing this to college. This is a little Bible, well, that's the New Testament and Psalms. It's KJV red letter. Right here we have a hymn book. This is basically, I believe, a Christian and Missionary Alliance hymn book, older hymn book, and it just says Hymns of the Christian Life. Right here I have some scripture journals, ESV scripture journals. I have Exodus, Proverbs, John, Romans, Colossians, and Philemon, and James. I've only gone through James. This is my NIV Bible. I got it at a used bookstore, but yeah, simple NIV. Is this red letter? Yes, it's red letter. Zondervan. Next to that, I have my old children's Bible. Like, this was the Bible that I would bring to church when oh, that's where that went. But anyway, like, I literally did use this Bible a lot when I was a children. No, when I was a child. Anyway. And I have this ESV Crossway Bible. Pretty simple. I have a KJV, I believe this is red letter. Yes, it's red letter. KJV, what is that brand? Hendrickson Bibles. I don't know much about them, but this seems to be a pretty good Bible, and as you can see, I've tried reading through the KJV all the way through, and I think I've tried it a couple times, and I have failed every time, because the KJV is hard to understand. That's why we have translations with more modern English. This is the CSB Note-Taking Bible of Holman. So I haven't done anything in this Bible. It looks pretty nice though. But I will eventually when I read through the CSB all the way through. Right here I have the Chronological Study Bible, New King James. This Bible used to be my dad's, and he gave it to me one Christmas. This is the KJV Study Bible, right? This is Study Bible? Yes, King James Study Bible. It's big. Very big. Right here is a King James Bible. It used to be my papa's, and my Nana gave it to me for Christmas a couple years ago. It used to be a family Bible. That's why it's very big. So, yeah. And over here, we have the Strong's Executive Concordance of the Bible. And the reason why it has Strong's, what? Exhaustive? Exhaustive Concordance. The reason why it is Strong's is because this book is very heavy and you have to be strong to own it. Anyway, let's look down to this next shelf. Most of this is like history and Christian nonfiction on this shelf. This book right here is All the Women of the Bible. This right here is church history in plain language. So I definitely should read this at some point because it's church history. I have Daily Dose of Knowledge History. It basically is kind of like a devotional, like you have like one page each day, but it's like for history. Then I have A People's History of the United States, a guide to America's greatest historic places. So if I want to travel to any of these states, I might want to read that. I have the Electoral College book. I'm pretty sure it's about the Electoral College. I have a book about the French Revolution from 1789 to 1799. Then I have a book about Scientists of the Faith. Then I have Operation World, 21st Century Edition. Basically how you could pray for the whole world. Yeah. This is End of the Spear by Steve Saint, an introduction to Christian missions. And this is a Voice of the Martyrs book called Hearts on Fire. I haven't read that yet. This is God's Smuggler by those people. I haven't read this yet. This is When Faith is Forbidden, another Voice of the Martyrs book, which I did read in my Reading 5 Christian Nonfiction challenge, and it's almost May, right? May, and I'll be doing a Reading 5 Fiction. So, yeah. This is Revolution in World Missions. That was a very interesting book, and, you know, Evidence Not Seen. I have tried reading this, but the chapters are very long, and I didn't finish it, but I'll need to try to read that again. Defying Jihad. This is a very, very good book. It's very easy to read. All the chapters are so short. It is so divided up that it's like you can just fly through this thing. I love this book, and it's basically a testimony. So it's a story, it's a testimony, and yeah. Then we have Through Gates of Splendor. I very much enjoyed this book, but the second time reading, it was a little harder to read. I don't know why. It's a good book. You should definitely read it. And of course, we gotta have The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom. This is a great book. If you've never read it, then what are you doing with your life? You need to read this book. We have The Verdict on the Empty Tomb. I got this free because I attended the Think Well conference at Cross Life Community Church in 2023. and this was just a random little book that they put in our binders. So, and it was a pretty good book, pretty simple. Radical by David Platt. I also read this in my reading 5 Christian nonfiction in a month. Very good book. Now we have like one of the best books ever, Destined for the Throne by Paul E. Billheimer. If you haven't read this book, then what are you doing with your life? Go read it. Enjoying Intimacy with God by J. Oswald Sanders. This is also one of the best books in the world. It's Do Hard Things by Alex and Brett Harris, which they are twin brothers. A teenage rebellion against low expectations. So guess what? If you're a teenager, if you have a teenager, go buy this book and read it. I'm not a fan. I haven't read this book. Hopefully I'll be a fan of this book, but I haven't read it yet. But it looks like it should be good, hopefully. Now we're getting to A.W. Tozer. Right here we have The Root of the Righteous. That was a pretty good, simple book. It kind of felt like a devotional, but it's not really, but you could totally use it that way. Authentic Worship. That was a great book about being authentic when you worship. No Greater Love. This is basically about how there's no greater love than Jesus. God's Power for Your Life. I read this too. It was good. I can't remember everything. I haven't read this 3-in-1 Tozer book yet, but it is The Pursuit of God, The Purpose of Man, and The Crucified Life, and I'm so happy to have this copy because look at how awesome that is. Yeah, I need to read that. We Will Not Be Silenced. I have started reading this before, and I need to read it because I don't think I finished it. I don't know how far I got. Expository Apologetics. This is by Voddie Baucham. I just got this at Christmas, so I definitely need to read that. Defending Your Faith by Sproul. That is also a book that I need to read. That I also got at Christmas. The Gospel's Power Message by Paul Washer. That was a great book. It took me forever to read, but it was awesome. There's more in the series, too, that I need to get and read. Over here, The Preeminent Christ by Paul Washer. Very big word. This was a great book. Of course it is. It's Paul Washer. Then way back here, we have Rebel with a Cause by Franklin Graham. I don't think I've read that. And also Hope for the Troubled Heart by Billy Graham. I need to read that too. Middle shelf here we have the Left Behind series. Well, part of it. We have Left Behind. That's book 1. Tribulation Force. That's book 2. Soul Harvest. That's book 4. Apollyon. That's book 5. The Indwelling. That's book 7. And The Mark. That's book 8. And then we have some CDs. And then we have The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings, Spider-Man 5 Movie Edition. That's the original Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man. We have the random NBA game. We have a Webster's Dictionary. We have True Friendship by Vaughan Roberts and C.S. Lewis Miracles. Education stuff and fiction. So, right here we have Where God Came Down, The Archaeological Evidence by Joel P. Kramer. He has a YouTube and I love his videos, so I really wanted the book. So then we have this great big Webster Dictionary. We have the Dog Bible. Yes, it's my brother got this for me and I thought it was hilarious. But yeah, it's a quote-unquote Bible about dogs. This is the Super Easy Teen Cookbook, which is great because I need to learn how to cook. So, which I do know like a tiny little bit. I know how to cook tacos already, so like right here is a random fiction book I have called King of the Wind. Betsy Ross and the Flag. Anne of Green Gables. I have Love and Other Goals by Tracy Bach. This is Flora and Ulysses, which I have a video about that too. This is Moby Dick, which is it's about whales or something. I'm going to read that book, and I'm going to have a reading vlog of it. This is a random book that I saw at a little free library. It's Christopher Marlowe, The Complete Plays. It's The Old Man and the Sea. I have a German dictionary, German concise dictionary. I have The Hobbit. I have The Swiss Family Robinson. It's a great book. I have Animal Farm. I have The Pearl. I have The Red Badge of Courage. I have Simply Drums. I have Louis L'Amour, Dutchman's Flat. I have See It, Say It in German. I have The Chronicles of Narnia, most of them over here. I have King Arthur. I've started this, I need to get back to it. Restart it probably. I have Great American Short Stories, Major American Poets. I also have the Book of Mormon, which I will be doing a vlog on that, probably titled something like A Christian Reads the Book of Mormon. You know, they do claim to be Christians, but they're actually a cult. So I have Basketball for Women, Good Writing and Grammar, German for Dummies. I have Streams of Civilization. I did that for school, and this is literally the best history to do for school. And then I have Geography of Religion. I also want to show you my NASB study Bible. Very great Bible. I've been using it for a long time. I also want to show you my ESV student study Bible. I also love this very much. And I'm also going to show you some of my books that I've been reading. We've got Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. We have God's Big Picture by Vaughan Roberts. And I also started Darwin's Black Box by Michael J. Behe. Well, guys, that is all to show you. That is the tour. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.